Okay, can you hear me? Yes. So, welcome to this live session on AI for education, right? AI is taking over education in most ways, but sometimes teachers are scared of what students will do with it. Teachers are scared of what how it might take over their jobs and all that. So, there are advantages of using AI in education, but most times we see the disadvantage side where students are using it for promoting malpractices and taking over teachers' jobs, right? So today we're looking at Chat GPT. The GPT. This is very popular platform that has been trending over for a few weeks now, and it's awesome what it can do. So I see it kind of replacing, not totally, but at least replacing most part of Google search and things we do on Google search. So if you can see me, please do let me know. Okay. If you can see me, please do let me know. Okay. So I'll go straight to the point. Chat GPT is a chat robot, right? It's like you're talking to an artificial intelligence robot on the internet. And most times there are concerns on plagiarism and all that stuff. But it's going to be not smart enough for anybody to use GPT to actually generate content for a website or generate a full essay or generate. That is not the best use of chat GPT. So you should have to be very careful with that. I'm not going to be going into plagiarism and all that, but using it to generate content that you just want to post somewhere is going to flag a lot of plagiarized content, which is not good for your business, which is not good for your intelligence, right? Anytime that you hear me talk about AI, you will always, it's always going to be about how artificial intelligence can help you brainstorm, right? That is the best use of artificial intelligence, not just generating content like you see most people do, or trying to play the system and uh, not do a lazy work of bringing out too many content that you didn't author or you didn't bring out, right? But if you use it to generate ideas for content, then you can move from there, because sometimes as content creators it could be difficult to actually generate instant content without properly thinking through with it, right? So chat gpt is just like a brainstorming thing. Anything you are using AI for as an educator, use it for brainstorming, use it for strategy, not just promoting, uh, printing out content from the internet or somewhere, according to artificial intelligence. Thank you, Shitu Quadri. Thank you so much for joining the program. And I hope you enjoy what we're going to share today. So, GPT is like actually chatting or asking a robot or asking the internet question. You know, normally we're used to Google search, type ask Google, you heard all that, ask Google. But you soon be seeing a feature when we're looking at ask chat GPT or ask this robot or ask AI, ask AI. So it's not going to be restricted to just ask Google. It's going to be ask AI or ask a chatbot, right? So the very good thing with it is I've found out ways that teachers and educators can actually harness GPT, right? It's far important that you know how to harness it, and also know how to protect yourself from your students who might just be using it for exam malpractice or filling out an essay or actually playing the school system, right? So teachers, you should not be afraid of chat GPT. That is one thing. You should not be afraid of it. You should not get to the point where it's going to take your job. No, AI cannot take a teacher's job. One thing is certain. It can take your job if it's more efficient than you, the teacher. Yes, AI or chat robots like it can take your job if it's more efficient than you, the teacher. So you should be smarter than any artificial intelligent program out there. And you should not restrict yourself as a teacher to the old ways of doing things, right? So I'm going to teach you how to outsmart this process, not for negative purposes, but actually to enhance productivity as an educator, as a teacher, and all that. So number one thing, you should avoid using ChatGPT or all this kind of AI products is make sure it's not for generating content. Like I said, it's going to be the dumbest way to use it, generating content. You want to build a website, you want content for the website, and you just use it to generate content and all that. It's going to be the dumbest way to use it. And I don't want you to fall into the trap of being flagged by Google for posting plagiarized content on your blogs or website. So avoid using it for that. And by now, as a teacher, you should know that even if your students use to actually produce essays or for you should use website like Quillbot or other AI products to confirm if it was plagiarized. So that can easily function and help you find out students who are using it, right? For essays and projects and all that, which they didn't work on. So number one, I would like to share my one use of ChatGPT. I would like to share my screen so that you get to see what awesome things we can do with ChatGPT, right? Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. 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 So you see my screen now. You can see my screen. Chat GPT OpenAI program. So first and foremost, once you come here, very simple site. You type here, you submit it, it produces your content here. So first and foremost, let's see, as a teacher, let's see how you can use Chat GPT to generate examination question when you feed it with lesson content, right? You want to set the exams, or you're trying to look at questions appropriate for setting for your students of certain ages, and you want to set an exam, right? So you could be stranded one way or the other, and you want to use Chat GPT to generate multiple choice questions, true or false answer, any kind of exam test questions. So if this, for example, your lesson notes, right, you just copy a particular lesson or a segment of your lesson and just type in, because it's very interactive, it responds to your question. Uh, create create test. Okay. MCQ, multiple choice question, right? For grade 3 students test, right? Using the uh, below, using the below content, right? So this is your lesson. So let's see. So I just copy and paste it, right? Categories of software. So this you could just make use your Grammarly and make any kind of correction. Okay, okay, utility. Okay, so okay, so this, for example, is just the lesson content for a particular lesson. So you want to use Chat GPT to create a test question, right? Multiple choice question, MCQ, right? So once you do that, you type in your criteria here, what you want, and you put in the content. So number one, you just submit. Okay, you can see it generates multiple choice question. It stopped at a point. So let's refeed it again with appropriate content. Okay, 10, let's say 5 multiple choice question for grade 3. So one thing with ChatGPT, you have to keep feeding it with the right criteria so that it gives you the right questions or the right responses, right? So it's not a one-time feed and you expect the answer to just be accurate. You have to keep feeding it till you get what you want. So that is one thing you should know about uh, ChatGPT, right? Tests, okay. So you see it has generated it, but it's still lacking in the sense that it's not a multiple choice question. Create 5 multiple choice question for grade 3 students, right? Test. Okay, so you can always rephrase to get the results you want. Okay. With say for 3 options, right? So you can be as accurate as possible so that you get the right response you want. Okay, so you can see it here. Okay, wow. So you can see it has generated with 3 options, which from this content from your lesson, it generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 questions for with 3 options, right? So what's which type of software provide platform for running other software? So you have a operating system, application, and others. So you all you just need to do is copy and automatically you can print out for your students. So you see, it has streamlined everything to the criteria you've asked it. So this is an efficient use of chat GPT, right? An efficient use for teachers. So you can see how you can quickly generate questions for your exams. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that. So like I told you, you can rephrase the question, you can rephrase the criteria so that it gives you what you want. So it's not like you type in one criteria and it doesn't give you and you fall apart and say it's not working. No, you have to rephrase the criteria so that it understands and give you the right response. So let's say, okay, let's say you want it to be for college students, right? Let's see if the question difficulty will change if you make it for college students, right? Let's see what it looks like. So this you can copy, go to Microsoft Word, new, and you paste, right? Or you have to format and do all the rest necessary adjustments, right? Let's see. Okay, okay, it looks better like this, right? So it looks better like this. So you have 5 exam questions in less than 1 minute done for you, right? So you know the answers to the question. Now let's see if it works for, maybe we change the criteria to maybe college students and all that. Let's see if we change, we have just adjusted it to college students. So let's see if it changes the difficulty or it just gives the same results. Okay. Okay, you can see it has adjusted the difficulty because we typed college students, right? So you have to be as specific as possible. So you can see it has adjusted the difficulty. So it becomes very clear what you can do with chat GPT in terms of your classroom tests or exam questions, right? So that's one use. You can use chat GPT to create assessment questions for your student. You can use it to create test questions, exam questions, and assessment for your students. So that's one use of chat GPT. Like I told you, it's for strategic querying, right? You have to query the system strategically so that you get strategic response. So don't be lazy I know we are not lazy teachers, but don't do the lazy work of just typing something and just expect it to pour it out from heaven and you just copy and paste. No, that would be a lazy use of chat GPT. So it's for what? Strategic querying. Make sure your querying is strategic when you use chat GPT. Now let's see second use for lesson content, right? Like I told you, don't use it to generate content. You can use it anyway, but make sure, even if you are using it to generate content, make sure it's for your own consumption or within your class or within a small circle, not what you post online as your own content, because it might have generated it from other people's content, right? It's AI algorithm that gets content from every website, every post globally, right? So if you're using it for your own classroom, which we are normally used to as teachers, we get content from other teachers and all that, it works perfectly. But make sure it's within that restricted space, your classroom, or within your teachers group. But make sure you don't post it online as your own content, because it becomes plagiarism and it becomes false use or wrong use of this powerful tool. All right. So let's say lesson uh topics, let's say lesson topics for grade one, uh maths, uh okay, let's say geometric shapes, right? Geometric shapes, right? You want to teach grade one geometric shapes, but you don't know how to start it, and you need, like I told you, to brainstorm, use it to brainstorm likely topics that will be appropriate for grade one and things that might be interesting to make grade one math interesting, right? So what you just, you type it. So very be strategic querying, like I told you, strategic querying. Always make sure you are strategic. Don't just type because you just want to use the system. So let's see what it can give us. Okay. Wow. So it has given us 10 topics we can teach grade one, right? 10 topics: identifying basic shapes, drawing shapes, sorting shapes, comparing shapes. So these are topics that you can use as your lesson plan, right? Then you start exploring them one after the other, right? Describing shapes, finding symmetric shapes. Okay. Let's say you want to now generate extra criteria or content for each of these items. What you simply do, you copy this somewhere, but I'll say creating pattern with shapes. Let's say this, right? I'll copy that seventh one and generate an entire content for it, right? Lesson content for grade one. Then you just put it there, creating patterns with shape, right? You submit. Let's see what that looks like. Object. So you see, it has given you objective materials and all that. Wow. So it's making teachers work very easy. This is the best use of it. This is the best use of chatbots or chat GPT AI program, right? So you can see how I've taken one criteria and expanded it to other criteria if you are creating a lesson content. Now it's telling you the objectives of the lesson. Students will be able to create patterns with shapes, right? Materials you need for it, lesson, the introduction, introduce, explain what you should do. So it's even giving you strategies on how to introduce that topic. So doesn't matter if you're an experienced teacher or you're a newbie teacher, it functions and works for you perfectly. And you can grow from using this system, right? You can grow from using this system, because sometimes as teachers we'll be in a hurry to use this system, but we need assistance, we need guidance, and this is an AI system that helps you do your work perfectly. Okay, so that's for lesson text, lesson content creation, lesson content, and lesson topics creation, right? So let's see how we can use it for teaching strategies. Teaching strategies, right? Uh, how, for example, you want how to introduce introduce uh how to introduce um shape, geometric shape. Okay, geometric geometric, right? Shape lesson to grade one pupils, right? Pupils. How to introduce. So if you're starting a topic, you don't know how to start it, on how to, you think your students can digest it. This can be a way to get brainstorming ideas for your lesson. And it also applies to trainers, right? If you are training and you want to do some basic introduction, you might need to use it too. Okay. Okay, you can see it's generating it. Wow. 10, 10, 10. Okay, start the lesson by introducing these basic shape, circles and rectangles. So it's giving you strategy or strategies on how to teach. So even if you are using Bloom's, right? You are using Bloom strategy on Bloom method or teaching methodology, you find that you can pick a methodology and impute it, right? Or pedagogical approach and impute it. So any kind of strategy you intend to use for teaching your students or introducing certain topic to certain grades, right? Without overwhelming them with the terms and concepts, you can use this tool, Chat GPT, right? So you can pick one of them and feed it back to the system and get more information on how to explore or apply that strategy as a teacher. Okay, number, we have done assessment questions, lesson content creation, teaching strategies, and tech tools, right? You want to apply some tech tools to your teaching approach and you don't know the tools to use. Maybe your ICT teacher is not that vast enough, or even if it's vast enough, he might not know all the tools. So you can also use that to ask for specific tech tools for specific teaching practices or pedagogical approach in your classroom, right? As a class teacher, as an educator, right? Okay. Uh, let's say best apps for teaching uh, nows, nows, grade one nows, right? Grade one. It can be grade two. Use any. I'm just using grade one uh, for this narrative. Grade five, English language now, right? Now. Okay. Best app. So let's see what it gives you. Okay. Wow. Then how easy can your work be as a teacher? How easy can your work be? It's going to be easier to teach in the 21st century. It's going to be easier for you to teach and apply your skills as a teacher. Sometimes we waste too much time on searching the web that we don't have direct access to what we want immediately, right? So Chat GPT gives you that leverage as a teacher where you use it to get what you want immediately so that you don't spend time searching and not even getting the right resources, right? So apps, best app for teaching grade 5 English now. So you have the Now Ninja. So these are apps, Now Ninja. You can go online and search where Now Ninja and download it. Nows for kids, Nows. These are apps. Nows Maker and Nows Tutor, right? So these are apps you can just go online. Let's see what Now Tutor looks like online. Okay, let's see Now Tutor. Okay, so you have the Now Tutor, so you can search if it's an app you can download. So you get it. I think this should be it. So you can Now Tutor app, right? Let's see if okay. So you can see different apps that has to do with what you're looking for. So it's straightforward and it makes your work easy as a teacher. The essence of all this is to make your work easy, not for plagiarism or creating content you and posting it as yours. No, it's for strategic querying. So you query the system strategically so that you get responses that can make your work as a teacher very easy. I'm going to give, these are basics. This is like an introductory class. Subsequently, I'll bring more advanced use of ChatGPT in your classroom and as an educator. That is fifth one. Okay. Let's say you want teaching, let's say you want to query the system. Classroom teaching strategies for grade 2 English or grade 2 science class, right? Grade 2 science class. So let's see what it gives you in return. Okay. So you can see ideas that you can generate immediately. Now, the difference between using this and using Google search is that it gives you direct access. ChatGPT gives you direct responses for what works for you immediately based on what you have imputed. Google will give you a lot of videos, a lot of things that might not be what you're interested in. So you have to start searching those websites to see if you have something appropriate. But this gives you direct hints on what you will need to achieve your goals as a teacher. Now, okay, you have hands-on learning, group project, science journal, technology, how to incorporate. So you can pick one of them and feed it out into the system again, and it gives you details of how you can implement that strategy. So that's a teaching strategy, and also making your work very productive. So these are lots and lots. Now globally, I would like to make it clear that globally we are seeing issues where students are using ChatGPT for writing an exam, and professors are freaking out. Professors are very scared that it could be the end of creative work and all that. Like I told you, you cannot. This is a system that is open to students and teachers, right? So you cannot become the overlord of your students to tell them don't use it or uh, don't present the work from ChatGPT as a project, right? So the best way to actually go about this, instead of professors freaking out or using it as a secret weapon, students are smart too. You can have a session with students on how to use it, right? Make it an open how to use it and tell them best way to use it to achieve their work, their assignments that you're giving to them. So students know that they are not restricted, because when you start restricting it from students, it becomes difficult to even track students who are using it against you or against the system. So make sure as a teacher, it's time to start having this discussion with teachers, educators, parents, and school management, how AI can enhance the work of teachers, enhance the work of parents, enhance the work of students, so that nobody is put in the dark or nobody is seen as the violator of using these tools, right? So rather than freaking out, if when your students use the system, actually have a session. You can have a class where you discuss with students how to use it, right, to achieve a certain aspect of the assignment, and teachers know how to catch students who are using it, violating it. So everybody knows the rule of the game. If you don't put any rule of the game and you're trying to stifle students using it for their project, it's going to be more hard work on teachers, because you spend time trying to fight your students using it, spend time trying to check their work to make sure they didn't use it, spend time trying to create laws that will fight your students from using it at all, right? So that will be more work for the teachers. That is not your work as a teacher. Your work as a teacher is to enhance productivity or productive use of technology in your classroom for your students, for your teachers, and for management and also parents. So it's important as a teacher, don't stifle your students using this system. It's free, so you can't even stop them from using it. So the best way for you as a teacher, start looking for where you can have open discussions with your students on how to use it, better their work or make their work efficient or make their work more productive or make their work more way of brainstorming with the system for their work, right? So it's going to be a best use of it. For teachers, I hope I've been able to share little things you can do with it. Maybe we'll have an advanced session later on, maybe in January or so. But I hope this is an easy way to start using it as a teacher for for the next upcoming term, right? Term or session. So if you have questions, please share on the comments. If you have questions, share on the comment. Let me know what you think about the system. Have a wonderful evening.